Welcome one and all to the Blue Finals from May. My name is Counterfeit, joined by Dealers today to bring you our final tournament of the weekend. We have had 3 finals if we include this one, and they have all been very exciting.
Oh, they certainly have, Counterfeit, and I'm sure today will be nothing else. It's going to be amazing to see these teams fight out in the Blue Finals. And you know, the Blue Finals are always the ones where the Japanese squads they play, so those are just exciting in and of themselves.
And let's take a quick look across at which teams we have got coming in for today's tournament. In the number 1 spot will be Impossible Mission Forces. They've got themselves a bye through the first round, I do believe, since that dummy team is dummy in every sense of the word. Dealers, what should people know about our number 1 seeded squad?
Oh, well, you know, seeing as how our number 1 seeded squad is Impossible Missions Force, everything that they should know is just that this team is basically the best team that is in the blue scene right now. Arguably one of the best teams ever in blue scene. You could make a case for Old Glory, but IMF, they've come in and completely took over the scene. They are so good. They have gotten victories basically as far back as you look to care. So you care to look. So these guys, they are just so confident, and I'm having a hard time seeing anyone beat them very soon.
It's been a reign of terror for IMF for quite some time. But below them we have Into the Wild and Old Glory, our opening feature match, both from Japan. And you mentioned before, Old Glory, they have got a lot of history in the scene.
Oh, they certainly have, Counterfeit. They used to be undefeated for I think like 2 months, and those guys, they were just so incredibly strong. But nowadays they kind of fallen far from grace, and they need to really get back to their past prime in order to beat the likes of Into the Wild, Impossible Missions Force, and the other very strong teams that we have here in the tournament.
Into the Wild, who we're playing against, Old Glory, have got a rivalry with Engraved Memory, who didn't quite make it through to the finals this time around. Let's look a little bit further down. Craze Gaming going up against No Players, only Practice.gg. And we did uncover some significant news for our number 6 seeded team at No Players.
Yeah, well, MIT used to play for a different team, but has now gone over to the Old Glory team, Counterfeit. So there's going to be some interesting tension between these 2 teams.
No Players used to rely a lot on MIT's prowess. I think would be very much noticeable on the Old Glory roster. Changing over after a bad run for the No Players Only Practice team, losing out in the first round of competition twice in a row. Can't quite blame them for trying to find greener pastures. And for Craze Gaming, why, they're the only team we were able to find records of actually beating our number 1 seed Impossible Missions Force, but they only play occasionally. And when they have, since that big victory over IMF, they have lost in their opening rounds. So Craze Gaming, they got the potential to hit the moon, but also to hit the dirt early.
They certainly are a team that you have to look out for. They could put a stoke in the wheels of some of these teams, but obviously, as you mentioned, Counterfeit, their performance so far has been a bit lackluster. So we'll have to see how they perform here today. But for now, we can't give them the benefit of the doubt.
And we'll head across to that last part of the bracket, but we have got our first pass key for today. We said Old Glory, the beneficiary of a move from MIT, a very big player who headed up pretty much No Players single-handedly. But just before we get into there, Score Gaming and VNV returns. Score Gaming, our number 2 seed. Kind of everyone falls under the shadow of IMF. But Score Gaming, one of those teams that could potentially punch through if IMF do stumble here in this finals.
Yes, IMF and Score Gaming, they've met so many times in the past, and especially in grand finals, Counterfeit. So these guys, they know what it feels like to lose to Impossible Missions Force, and I'm sure that they would not want to do that here today.
I believe, yes, our first lobby is just coming up. But to touch on VMV returns, headed up by star podcaster Dulzy, who I'm sure you guys, if you're long-time viewers, will have seen delivering his podcast to the official MC5 channel, talking about the updates and all the issues around MC5, a huge part of the MC5 community. VMV, I think, still a developing team, so it's going to be pretty tough to go up against such an established presence as Skull Gaming.
Oh, it certainly will be. But, you know, they do have Dulzy, and Dulzy is a strong player at times. But with that being said, Counterfeit, Dulzy can also be a player that gives up a lot of kills. So, for VNV Returns, Dulzy could either be their savior or their death sentence.
So guys, we're going to take a short break while the teams do get in for this first quarterfinals of the day. Shouldn't be too long at all before we're underway with official ESL action. $500 on the line for these teams. You got to make it all the way to the finals to access that prize pool, and that journey begins here. We'll be kicking things off in just a few moments, so stick with us and we'll be back shortly. 3, 2, 1, let's go! It's time for the kickoff to the monthly Boo Finals, our final ESL competition of the weekend. $500 on the line. This is the first step towards glory or ignominious defeat.
We're about to go into the wild counterfeit to figure out if Old Glory can regain their old glory. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. I'm out of here.
That was a high value joke for sure. First blood being shared across between the two teams as they go face to face right in the center. No hesitation whatsoever, of course. These heavies will do heavy duty damage. And Old Glory, they take advantage of that first exchange.
Oh yes, Old Glory, they winter into the wild. They find a lime and they give some lemons over to Into the Wild and say, what you gonna do when life gives you lemons?
I'm so confused. I tried to think of something clever, but nothing clever was forthcoming. Instead, I'll have to rely on just some old-fashioned shooting in the face.
See, that's how I feel when I'm forced to speak. Nothing clever comes forward.
Well, nothing clever is happening for Into the Wild right now. They are suffering under the wrath of Old Glory. Zilla says, this is a team, Old Glory, who are an institution in the MC5 scene for quite some time. Honestly, they forced the level of play up in the same way that I think that Impossible Missions Force are trying to do at the moment. You know, Old Glory, they were the team to beat. Now that's Impossible Missions Force. I think Old Glory could get it back, though, if they continue to perform like they're doing now.
Oh, certainly. The way that they're playing right now is a completely different standard of MC5. They're doing quite well. It's not quite their past performances that we're seeing right now, but it is quite high up, nevertheless, and I like what we're seeing from them. For Into the Wild, we do have to mention that Rika is their strongest player, and right now Rika is not on the lineup, so Into the Wild, they are certainly missing out on Rika, could potentially put them in for the next match, so it might just be them hiding their strongest weapon right now.
In the blue tournament, we've got a lot of teams who do have those deeper rosters. Certainly Old Glory not suffering right now because of that. Ryu, the number 3, rocking the heavy, is currently the highest scoring player, 5-1. Absolutely lethal in close quarters, and for good reason, sticking to the central point, trying not to get picked off in the more open areas.
Ryu comes out, and now Ryu is sitting at 7-1. Certainly is one of the strongest players, and, well, the top performing member right now from Old Glory. So, Ryu, looking for that Old Glory in the wild. I'm full of puns today, man. Is it National Pun Day? Or, well, International Pun Day, I guess.
Well, you know what they say, after Saturday comes Pun Day. Old Glory, they are almost doubling up on the Into the Wild score, while Zhangji is doing the best on the team. It's looking pretty dire for their chances. Old Glory, you know, from the off, they are showing an enormous amount of velocity in a fashion that's quite terminal for ITW.
Oh, it certainly is counterfeit. Old Glory, they're about to reach a double the amount of kills that Into the Wild they have. So Old Glory, they do have that rivalry with Engrave on Memory. Sorry, no, that's Into the Wild. They have an Into the Wild, they have a rivalry with Engrave on Memory, as we've said, counterfeit. But we did say that Into the Wild might have a good run here today, seeing as how Engrave on Memory aren't here. But apparently, Old Glory, they also have a thing or two to say about Into the Wild making a deep run in this tournament.
And I think, well, this is an illustration, I think, of why the seeding points are so important for the teams here today. When you compete in a weekly tournament, you get the seeding points for the monthly finals. The top 8 teams go through, but it's not just about getting into the monthly finals, as we see here. The higher your seeding, the easier the opposition you will face during these tournaments, and the better your chance of making it through to the finals. Right now, Old Glory, they're demonstrating why even the mid-table can be pretty darn dangerous when it comes to iOS Blue.
Oh yes, there's definitely so many strong teams here today, counterfeit, that you have to give respect over to every single team. And right now, Old Glory, they look like a team that you have to pay the most respect to alongside our favorites, Impossible Missions Force.
I'll be fascinated to see. We've seen many dynasties rise and fall during the course of our time in MC5. There's always an end. Teams can never hold on to that top spot forever. IMF, though, you said it before, they have had a hugely ludicrous run up until this point. But 50-30, Old Glory certainly showing some of their old form. And Rusei and Rio both with some extremely strong numbers.
Ghostbox over in the chat saying, "Oh my god, OLG is better hard." Well, Ghostbox, you're definitely right. OLG, they look much better and as a harder team to beat here in the first game of today. So I wouldn't be surprised if they made a deep run here in today's tournament, especially seeing as how they won't really have to face Impossible Missions Force up until the semifinals. So if they are to beat our a good team into the wild, then meeting Impossible Missions Force in the semifinal might just prove for them to be an easy task because they are looking very good right now.
All the momentum in the world. We head to break, guys. Grab yourselves some delicious water, and we'll be back with you in 7 minutes or less with round 2, Old Glory and Into the Wild. Friends, it's time once again to take to the battlefield, this time on the construction site for our second quarterfinal game. Old Glory, they look to have recovered their old form and Into the Wild, well, they are paying the price.
And already here from the get-go, we're just going to see a lot of trades in terms of kills. Grenades flying out and Into the Wild. They're off to a good start by finding some kills, but Cast a Curse comes in. I cursed them, and now Old Glory, they're finding themselves up by 4 kills. Make that 5 within the first 30 seconds.
Very strong. Remember from before, Ryu and Ryusei, the Cobra of the Old Glory squad, getting us a very strong early play into the wild. They've learned their lesson, it looks like, and they're sticking to the insides of the construction site. However, Rai is not content to just leave them be. Into the wild, I honestly don't know. You're behind 7 kills now, and you have to make a run across the killing field at the front of the construction site.
But at least Into the Wild, they recognize that they are this far behind and they pull back. But I like what they're trying to do as well. Sending Shan Ji out to the side to go for that big flank around. Make it so that everyone else, they can attract their attention while Shan Ji just shoots everyone from the side.
Right, will do a little bit of the flanking of their own while Ryu does work their way up. Into the Wild just getting absolutely crushed in this early game. Shanji, we've seen, be an exceptional player before. In this kind of environment where everyone's just dying constantly, hasn't yet to find even a single kill. Right, working their way up and around. Old Glory, they're not wasting any time at all. There is a flanking attempt coming from Into the Wild, looking to break through from the underpass, but I just don't think there's any way you can even remotely approach that sniper's nest without getting immediately torn up.
No, it's going to be so extremely hard. But remember, guys, Old Glory, they did win game number 1, Counterfeit. I can see that the overlay hasn't been updated. Just so everyone is aware, yes, Old Glory, they are currently up 1 game. This is the second game, and they are not looking to slow down. Last time around, they won with 20 kills in the lead. This time around, it might just be 50.
Zara and Nerve, the only 2 players who picked up any real amount of kills for the Into the Wild squad. This is honestly kind of frightening for the prospects of every other team in the tournament. If Old Glory are going to deliver this much punishment to the opposition in their opening round, I mean, surely it tells you something about the team. They know, from what we've seen, they are going to win the game, but they want to send a message while they're doing it and absolutely destroy the opposing team.
Oh yeah, and Rai was just about to send a message as well. 6 kills without dying a single time. Does unfortunately go down, but was extremely close to breaking a record right there. Now Shanchi, looking good. Ryu goes very far up, does go down as well, but it's 25-12, and at this point in time, you have to wonder, is Old Glory really stepping up here today? And will they be able to take down Impossible Missions Force, who they might just meet in the grand final? Because Old Glory, they're looking unstoppable, and I think, hell, even Impossible Missions Force will have one hell of a task ahead of them.
We did see Into the Wild managing to clear out the sniper's nest there. A heroic push forward under incredibly tough circumstances, so at least Old Glory are out on the field. They're going to take up residence in the underpass, though, and set up a new base from there. At least they can't see across the entirety of the construction site. But Into the Wild actually do start to pick up some more kills.
They do indeed do that, Counterfeit, but at this point in time, it's just too late. There's about to be 40 kills on the side of Old Glory, and everyone knows that 40 kills is the point in time where you don't really want to be. You want to be below 40 kills. Once you get to 40, the psychological pressure comes too immense. And a team like Into the Wild, who are currently this far behind, might not be able to make it back.
Well, the 2 teams ultimately end up swapping places on that B, right? It seems like it's way too late for this to make a difference. Lime going up, trying to eliminate these stragglers, and does take out Kiri, and Rai taken out as well. Old Glory starting to drop kills. Surely not having Into the Wild coming back here. They will have to contend with grenades to the face and an entrenched Old Glory team.
Ooh, right, that was dirty. Such a nice grenade. Takes down 2 players right there. Right, 14 and 6. That's one hell of a scoreline, and certainly enough for what is, well, basically one of the strongest members on the side of Old Glory. Kerry, the captain and leader and owner of Old Glory, must certainly be happy to have a player like Rye on their team.
Seems to have total mastery over the construction site, though as is always the case, nothing lasts absolutely forever. Still though, the result will not change as we come towards the end of our second ESL game of the day. You see, Putin, not so big of a fan of Old Glory's style, but it gets results. And with almost the same result as last time round, man, 18 kills ahead. Still pretty freaking impressive.
It certainly is kind of it. And Old Glory, they are unstoppable. They are on fire, and I don't think anyone is going to be able to stop them today. They're going to move into the grand final for sure after this performance.
Yeah, and it's Rye, of course, as we mentioned before, definitely going to step into place as the MVP of that round. Though, of course, Ruse and Ryu, who we noted from before, also putting on a solid showing. Guys, now that series is done and dusted, we want you back onto stream. So please do use the passkey ESL123 to come and join us and show what you are capable of on stream. Greetings to Hero Gaming 7, who's been here, I think, for all of our tournaments today. Our moderator, and of course, friend of the stream. What a great dude.
Yeah, welcome to the stream, Hero Gaming Simon. As usual, our good friend.
And hey, it's Paul over on Facebook, my fellow compatriot in being too slow to play with everyone else. Paul and James Davis, good to see you guys over there. Yeah, Paul saying this is real action. I do agree. I think we've seen the rise of what potentially could be a tournament-winning team. Now, something that has cropped up, and we'll have to wait for confirmation of that as I'll send the bracket through to the stream in general, is that there might be the possibility that Impossible Missions Force may not have been able to make it along today. If that is the case, that will necessitate a change of team on the throne, and that's a massive change for one of the teams which goes home with, you know, a guaranteed $350 compared to every other tournament with IMF, where you'd have to settle for second place.
Yeah, that's definitely true. So that is something that we're gonna have to look forward to, kind of it. But $350 is definitely the nicest share you can get. If you do, or well, it's a big share of the money that you can get. But you know what you're not gonna get? An Invictus trinket. In order to get that, you'd have to play in other tournaments.
That's true. Oh, that's kind of interesting. So yes, the ESL camo in place for the top 3 teams, as well as the $500 prize we've been talking about before. $350 to the first place team, $150 to the second, and everybody else will just have to go home with nothing, except for perhaps memories of getting beaten up, usually by IMF. Our admin for today is Aviator Features, so if you see them in the chat, do say hey to them. And Hero Gaming 7, our moderator we mentioned before, will be there if we're not available because of the game going on to answer any of your questions. Once we've got a few more folks in here, we will get things started. If we turn up with a lot of players today, then we might try out the Battle Royale, but I think we need a huge amount of players for that to be practical.
Yes, so guys, if you want that to happen, start by joining up now so that we can see that everyone is active. Right now, we'd like to have at least 4 or 5 players in total to really get this game underway.
So we've got 3. Let's see if we can find some more. We will, of course, be updating you guys as and when the bracket does get updated with the other results. I will ask to see if we can get both semis today from Aviator, just to make sure We give you guys as much of the field as we can. Welcome, Phantom. And let's get all you guys added up as friends. Oh, Mr. Phantom, already a buddy. Why, how wonderful. 2889 OP? I know 2889 OP, I know it's been around a bunch. I think it's Japanese. So, guys, if you want to use Google Translate to say hello to our Japanese fans, because as Steelers pointed out, there is a heavy Japanese contingent, then feel more than free to do so. I think I'm going to say, hello, hello, I like cats. Let's translate that back and forth.
Have you ever heard of that subreddit counterfeit where people post pictures of cats standing up?
Yeah, I presume it's called... Is it called Cat Standing Up, the subreddit?
Yes.
Ah.
It's one of my favorite subreddits. I think it's my my guilty pleasure to look at cats standing up.
It's weird, man. I wonder if that might be one of those things that, like, years from now, that, like, you know, just cats will be standing up all the time. That'll be one of the things that'll make the world look weird to visitors from the future. Hey, it's one of the Into the Wild players. Welcome.
You know, perhaps cats they run the world instead of girls.
Well, I mean, I guess it depends on your reading of the text.
If you read it really quickly, perhaps then it is girls who run the world.
I was just trying to learn how to say, hey, hey, I like cats, which I think is, oi, oi.
Oi, oi, neko ga suki desu.
Oi, oi, neko ga suki desu. Neko ga suki desu. Yeah.
Okay.
So there you go, friends. Oh, 289 replied in Japanese. I don't know if that replied to that particular point. Gabba Gabba Japanese W? What? I don't know. That seems like that's probably some sort of Japanese slang. Alright, we're going to get this game started since we've got enough people. We've got a lot of people in the spectate for some reason. But we've got enough to get started with. I'm not sure if Dandy's going to... There we go. We'll catch you guys on the other side for our finals. Well, of course, well far from done. I think we are getting confirmation now. It seems that Impossible Missions Force has not been able to make it along today, so there's a huge amount of money left on the table for the teams, and we shall find out shortly if Old Glory will be the team to claim the absent crown. We'll catch you guys on the other side of the break, so enjoy. Friends, we return! And congratulations to a very well played Dealian YouTube who managed to take all 24 kills for themselves. Impressive. Hero Gaming Simon calling out, that's some nice sniping. Spectre Theo, Android or PC. So we've just had the Android tournament pass, so we weren't able to stream it. And also the PC monthly finals. Next weekend it will be... Actually, I'll have a quick double check as to what we've got next weekend. We've definitely got let's see. That's on 7th of September. So we've got the Android finals. Oh, we may not be scheduled in yet, but I believe there will also be a PC weekly competition, Spectre Theo. So lots of MC5 to take part on if you're on either of those platforms. Alright, where shall we go next, Steelers, for a free-for-all?
Two seconds, you figured it out. I had to talk to our admin, Aviator.
Alrighty. Let's go on a classic. Oh, actually, meant to put in a passkey for this one. There we go. Free for all, ESL. One, two, three. So come and see what we're talking about. And post in the chat for any of you guys who are interested in playing an ESL competition in the future. Even if you don't have any teammates, don't need to worry. You can go to the ESL Discord, pick up some friends from there, and then play with them. All these tournaments are completely free to enter, and if you're playing on iOS, you can win cash prizes. On PC and Android, you can win in-game credits. And if you're good enough, well, you can get to one of the monthly finals we were talking about and we're in right now. And you can win yourself some significantly larger prizes as well. Are you the next Impossible Missions Force, or would you like to recapture some of your old glory? This is the place to do it! And this game could be the start of your journey. Samurai, welcome, welcome. Oh, let's see. I wonder what Gabba Gabba means in Japanese. Let's have a look. Gabba Gabba Japanese. 1-to-1. Huh. Hey, Russell Madhabi. Good to see you, good to see you. And Dandy in the game as well. Let's keep those invites flowing out into the general chat. Oh, Gabba Gabba means gurgling. Okay, so yeah, it's definitely some Japanese slang. Brilliant. What should we send back to them? The thing is, Google Translate does not deal well with like English slang because it doesn't necessarily know exactly what you mean. Let's just go with, I hope you are having a good day. Let's translate that back and forwards. I know that's saying have a good day.
You are so wholesome right now, Confident.
Well, have a good day sounds like you're saying goodbye to somebody. I hope you are enjoying the broadcast. There we go. Does that translate? No, that goes into past tense then. Okay, whatever. Let's just do that anyway. So, repeat after me, dealers, because I'm going to repeat it from Google Translate. And then if you repeat after me, we'll see how far away we can get from the original thing. So,
放送を楽しんでください。
放送楽しんでください.
Could we take it one word at a time?
放送.
放送.
放送を楽しんでください。
放送楽しんで.
放送楽しんで.
楽しいしんで.
Sydney.
It's
It's hard. I said one word at a time and you said...
I'm building up one word at a time. So, 放送...
Wait, how is that one word?
No, it's one word. 放送楽しんでください.
放送楽しんで... So, they...
Honestly, it's more entertaining if you get it more wrong. So we've succeeded! Hurrah! There we go. Right, who's one of the Japanese players is enjoying us trying to speak Japanese. So, yeah, I feel like that's mission
Well,
accomplished.
I'm happy that you feel like this is funny, right? Because I certainly don't. Haha.
Ha 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 ha. Oh, there we go. Oh, there we go. Zero Gaming actually did the same thing. Also, Tanoshinde Kudasai. Great stuff. All right. Man, we have to think of other sort of things to mistranslate into Japanese. How about lots of explosions?
I don't want to be a part of this game anymore.
Tako-san no...
Someone get me out. Help.
Tako-san no bakuhatsu. Lots of explosions.
Taco?
Yes. Who doesn't love tacos?
Taco explosions?
Taco explosions! Actually, yeah, how do we do... Tako-san no bakuhatsu. Or something like that. There we go. We're reaching out to our Japanese community, and they are digging it. They are digging it, Jesper.
Well, I guess it makes me happy that they like it.
Yeah. Oh, I could so greetings from Denmark. And you say that by saying
デンマークからの
Hello from
ご挨
Denmark.
拶。
デンマークからの挨拶.
Denmark ate sushi.
What? Well, kind of.
デンマークからの
That's
ご
what I
挨
heard.
拶。
Aitatsu. Yes, I think Denmark's another one of those countries that presumably just got translated across as, you know.
Denmark had a tattoo.
What? You're in an aneurysm.
No. Are you?
Oh, maybe. Hey, Gladiator Games, good to see you. And Hero Gaming Salmon. So yes, in big news for me, which I've been telling dealers about multiple times, with the help of a friend of mine, I made my first tacos the other day, and they were really good. It was a lot of work, man. We found a recipe that was really complicated, and I was like, surely we don't need this many things in this, but it wasn't too bad.
Did you make real tacos?
Yeah, it was. Let me just find which particular kind it was.
Because I know there's a difference between the tacos that you get at Taco Bell and then the real tacos.
It was Taco Tingers.
Because I know my partner keeps telling me that Taco Bell is fake tacos.
I don't know. I remember going to Taco Bell when I was in America when I was very young and kind of being a little underwhelmed. But, like, I suppose... Oh boy, wow, we've got a lot of people in here today. Like, I don't know. Like, that was a long time ago, so I don't know. It's definitely our views do... We're not representing Game Loss views when it comes to any potential sponsors down the line. Ahem, ahem.
But Taco Bell, please.
Yeah, Taco Tinga. That's what a friend of mine found it online. It's basically some chicken and a bunch of sort of flavouring things. A lot of it was stuck in a blender, and then just, yeah, it was pretty good. Like, I've still got a bit left in my fridge, and it's very nice.
Yeah, well, I'm happy that you had a nice time, Peter.
Oh, I did, and I'm going to.
Did you make the actual tacos from scratch?
No, we just bought some shop tacos. I think I'd imagine it'd be too involved to actually make the real ones. Like, I don't think it probably wouldn't be that much worthwhile. Like, I guess you could probably buy like more expensive taco shells, but actually like baking them from scratch would be a whole other thing.
Yeah, I could imagine.
I recommend it, man. Like Taco Tinga, you can. I think it just comes up on Google as one of the recipes. It's really, really good. It did take us about an hour to do because there was a lot of like individual bits to it, but it wasn't complicated. It was just, well, like it wasn't difficult. It was just complicated, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Hero Game Assignment is giving you some recommendations and stuff to make.
Chalupas. I don't know what those are, but let's look it up. They are a specialty dish of South Central Mexico, and it looks like a variety of taco. What's the difference between this? I think they're constructed a different way. Oh, they're like little, they're like sort of, I think they're sort of open tacos. Interesting.
It might be. I can't say that I've ever had. Actually, that's a lie. I've had real tacos because, again, my partner's apparently a taco snob.
I think there are kind of ways to say that, like, has refined taste.
No, man, she is a taco snob. When people ask me about her, I'm just gonna be like, yeah, she's the taco snob. But no, actually, we had tacos. They were really, really good. But I can't say I've ever made tacos on my own.
Well, I mean, I haven't either as of yet. But now I've done it. Like, it's one of those things where I think it's very easy to sort of conflate, you know, something that takes a lot of work to do with something that's very difficult to do. Like I was saying before, like it took a lot of time to put together, but it honestly wasn't hard. Like, I definitely recommend it. I'll send you. I don't know. Maybe we can find a recipe actually. Put it in the chat. I don't know if we should be promoting taco recipes. I guess it's fine. Where is it? It was on. There we go. Tasty. So. I posted up as Counterfeits Taco Friends, and congratulations to Pandix OP, who, if they were in the same country as me, I don't think they are, because no one is, then they could have themselves a taco. But they're not. Wah, wah, wah. No, so we got like a good amount of players in there. I don't know. We'll see. Let's give the battle royale, custom battle royale a try and see if we can get enough people in it. So we'll include a pass key because then we can get in more.
I'm gonna cross my fingers.
So any of you guys who are unaware, the battle royale now has custom games, which is great because it means you can directly play with your friends. Of course, you do need to have quite a lot of friends. Oh wait, one day I don't want the pass key on. All right, let's create it. But yeah, the spectator's pretty good. Dealing gaming translate Arabic. Oh boy, we'll give it a try. I don't know if we're gonna. Well, I suppose we pretty much made a horrible mess of English, so let's give it a try with Arabic. Let's, you know. Hopefully, no one will be too confused. I'm hoping we don't end up saying like something which you didn't mean to. Any of this stuff. Let's see.
Ihlan ahla.
Ihlan ahlan. I don't know. Apparently that's welcome in Arabic. Dealing gaming, do you speak Arabic? Are there any particular phrases we should be saying? I'd like to be able to make everyone feel welcome on the stream by having a little bit of a few different countries.
Yeah. Well, talking about countries, kind of it. If you could choose any country in the world, which one would you go to, and why?
I think, well, if I was going to live somewhere, I think it would probably be. I'd like to make a run of things in Canada. I think I've always wanted to live in Canada personally. It was a sort of dream of mine for quite a long time. I think it's quite good. It's kind of like America and England crossed, like they had a baby. Oh man, well this is going to be a confusing phrase. Oh man, Arabic gets really out of control after you're in a long sentence.
آمل أن تكونوا مثل
I can
سندويشة
imagine.
التاكو.
Wow, we do have a lot of players in here. Apparently, the interest for Battle Royale is quite high.
Yeah, no kidding. Alright, we'll see how many we can get into. I think it's one of the things, because we put an open game, the more players we have in the game, the more likely other players are to then turn up. Yeah, so we're getting quite a lot in. Alright, cool. So, yeah, it's very easy to miss that this Battle Royale spectator mode is now in place, so we can hop around the place, we get a listing of how many kills each person has, and yeah, it's pretty neat. I think at some point we might be able to get more spectator features, but for the time being, it's a pretty good one. If you also, there's spaces in spectator if you want to come and join in and just experience the spectator mode, which is honestly pretty good. Do we have an extra friends invited? I don't think so. We'll see if we can get up to like 20 or so, if people keep showing up.
I think 20 is perhaps a bit optimistic, but you never know.
SR Gaming, welcome to the stream. I don't know, got up to 16 already.
That's true. Well, I don't know. I'm crossing my fingers as well.
Of course, so that's one of the things which I'm kind of hoping for down the line is to some, now that we've got custom battle royals, that we can truly have custom battle royales in terms of being able to change the rules around and things. Dealing Gaming, you're coming? Alright. So, yeah, what I'll do is I'll keep throwing out invites. Basically, as long as we don't go down in numbers, then I'll keep inviting people. Once we start going down in any serious way, then I guess I'll just start off the whole thing. There you go. Got a few more bodies in place. Delian, from the stream, welcome, welcome. Alright, we'll just throw, I think, one more and then get going before everyone just starts getting bored and wandering off. So we've got Soldier for 8308. Let's see, who else is from the stream? We've got a Score S-Card as well. I don't know if people can join this after the fact, but I presume maybe. Alright, let's... Okay, yeah, we're starting to drop players, so let's get started. Hoorah! So, Deedless. As the sage of battle royales, where's the best place you should drop in a relatively light population battle royale, MC5 battle royale?
The airport. Because it's open, it has a bit of protection. So there's always going to be people who might get shot.
That's true.
Instead of going to like the Institute, where it's just going to be layer upon layer, which isn't going to be very interesting to watch.
Let's have a quick check around and see if there's any new options and things. I could throw a bloom on, makes things look a bit nicer. In some places it does make them look a little bit overly shiny, but hey. Any other things? I think we've got the... That's right, the Battle Royale HUD. I don't know if that's going to make any difference while we're spectating. But that's all fine. Okay. There we go. So, I don't think... Yeah, it doesn't look like we've had anyone else join in from this one. But let us know, guys, if you'd like to see some community battle royales. It's certainly a little bit more demanding in terms of player numbers, but I think 14's alright. Like, it's enough that we should be able to at least find a fight most of the time. So you reckon airport? I personally am a fan of the north and south villages.
Nope, stop.
You're right there.
Just go to the airport.
Hey man. I'm stating my opinion.
I said go to the airport.
Well, we've had, I think, actually most of the people... No, wait. No, there's the spawn coming in. Alright, so, as we can see on the map... actually, this is pretty good. Yeah, so we can see the spawn distribution. So,
I said go to the airport.
Who are you trying to talk to at this point?
You.
I'm not even playing.
Well, I don't care.
Let's take a move with Playboy Tiger, who is at the airport, along with... That's quite handy. Along with Ishin Gurun. And it looks like we've got Dandy heading out... Actually, this should... So, one of the reasons, of course, for there to be a spectator for the Battle Royale, and I don't know if this is going to happen on this particular version of Spectator, is that we can actually have tournaments and things on it. So, I think this is actually going to be pretty good, because, you know, you can see what's going on, you can see where people are going. I hope at one point we'll be able to see kind of who's fighting who and when, before they actually kill each other. So, alright. So, what do you think of the distribution so far, Deedless?
I think there's not enough people at the airport.
Well,
but that's a given. That's a given, of course. No, I do like the distribution, and I really like the spectator overlay. I think the only thing I could want more would be the possibility to have a free cam, so that you could have like multiple spectators. But right now, this is doable.
Yes, I think free cam is one of the things that would definitely add quite a lot. But Unfortunately, don't know if that's going to be a thing that'll happen or not. Hopefully. So we've got Bonzo, number 14, who is currently the score leader. He's basically the survivor of the Institute. Dash is the other person who's currently there at the moment. Actually, kind of wish we could zoom in the camera a bit more. Zoom in the map a bit more. So they've kind of survived, but Bonzo was one who just actually killed everyone and took their stuff. Let's check the rest of the map. We've got incoming Samurai, and just behind them, Lou Gipper, who I think is trying to sneak up on them and get the kill in just before they get into the Institute. That is, of course, if they can actually get up the hill.
Well, you know what? I could imagine that running up the hill, especially when you have a bunch of equipment and weapons and all, is actually very, very hard. So I admire these young talented people that are able to run up the hills.
It's true. It's a good life skill. So Samurai is heading towards the Institute, which of course has been the crucible so far of most of the action. You can see the circle is, well, it's at least got the Institute in as part of it. But given how many people are headed towards the center so early on, we could see a lot of, a very loose field very quickly. Malakita up in the north, and we've got Score S-Card down in the south, along with Triple Question Mark, who I think may well be the last to any major fight that comes forward. Ooh, Lugiva has managed to break into the interior, going up, I believe, against Bonzo at the top of those stairs. Will be falling back, though. Yes, it's Bonzo up there, looking to try and deliver as much ultra violence as possible. Manages to get the kill onto Lou Gipper, and that will put them in lead. Dan D is also just on the outskirts of the Institute with 2 kills. So we've currently got one player with 3, one with 2, and the question marks number 3, who is way off to the side with just a single one of their own.
Katrat Hussain over on Facebook saying, Battle Royale needs to develop and add mixed characters. I prefer a nicer street war than a forest war. Well, Katrat, I do agree with you somewhat. I would love to see multiple different Battle Royale maps, but remember, it is still in development, so who says that can't be more maps in the future?
Yeah, I'm curious to see what will happen. I know that people are very excited for getting more maps just in general for MC5. I know that somebody did manage on the MC5 subreddit, did manage to dig out a map of their own, as we see Bonzo dropping down. And I think perhaps having a little bit of a connection glitch there to not finalize that last kill. So they are currently going face to face with... Is it? No, Dandy is just off to the side. I think Dandy's just about to come and intervene in this situation here. Yep, there they are. Third partying into the mix with a shotgun, managing to take out ADY. Looking to try and take the score lead, and will do so. Bonzo eliminated. We're down to just 3 players. And I think they could be, yes. Dandy, player number 8, has successfully cleared out the entire Institute. 4 kills, but the other 2 players are nowhere nearby.
But you know what? In Battle Royale counterfeit, you don't always need to be close to your opponents, so I think Dandy is definitely making the right decisions so far.
Well, something I'm noticing, and I think we might have a ships in the night situation here, is question marks and Score Assad. They are very close to each other, even though they're not close to Dandy, who I think might make their way out of the Institute. You can see the circle has closed to be less favourable towards it. I think that house in the centre that Assad is heading towards is probably going to be the best place to defend from. Dandy, it's making the way out. Yes, they found question marks just there. I think they're a little bit caught off guard. Switching across to the shotgun. Face to face. Do take a lot of damage, but they've got the extra armor coming in right up, and it's super aggressive. Dandy misses and goes down. Wow. Question mark, 1 out against the most accomplished player in the game. Inherits all of their stuff. But Assad is just off to the side, has heard the gunshots, and is coming at speed. Question mark, I think, is going to be leaving the Institute pretty darn soon. He's got the tier 2 armor. Assad, though, with tier 3 and a PR39, must have gone through and picked up one of those drop crates. We've got the blue starting to come in now from up and around. Institute will still be safe. We can see through the wall, unlike Assad, and see incoming is question marks. I think it is on their way out, right into the loving arms of Assad.
But who's gonna get it? Assad running away.
I know. They were so close, and yet so far. They ships in the night's dust again. Those cats. So there we go. I think, yeah, there we go. Assad did just spot out question mark. And now it's going to go, and yep, just like that, puts them down like a dog. Our winner, score Assad.
Congratulations. This was certainly an interesting first try of how to run a battle royale. I liked it, kind of it.
Yeah, so we've actually got a decent scoreboard at the end here. We've got their placement, and then we've also got their kills. So if we were doing a kind of point system based on that, we could also work that out as well. Very neat. Very neat.
I hope that we're gonna have battle royale tournaments in the future.
I hope so as well. I mean, I assume that's what the whole intention here is. But let us know, guys. Would you be interested in battle royale tournaments or competitions? I think it could be a lot of fun, especially once we start getting duos and things in, because that really, I don't know what you feel about solo play versus squad play, D-list, but for me, it feels like the game really comes alive when you're playing as part of a team.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. I think for me at least, that's always going to be the case. That games, they just are way more fun when you actually play together with teams, or play together with friends. At least that's my experience so far with playing competitive games.
To Katharath Hussein, who said that earlier comment over on Facebook about preferring street wars over forest wars, I believe, yes, you're definitely right that there's more sort of hillsides and kind of open areas on that map than there are urban areas, and I think that's probably something to do with just the idea of having a battle royale map at all, which just tends to have more open spaces because they don't need to sort of program anything into them. But if you want to have street battles, then I definitely recommend heading into the villages, the north and south. Those basically form like little urban areas that you can have more kind of close-up sort of combat in, and I definitely recommend it. Even though D-list is all about the airport where you can get shot from 15 different angles.
I'm sorry, what now?
Just having a small rage. Malakita, Bonzo, ADY, and Samurai, all welcome. Of course, remember all of you guys from before. Let's see. I believe we'll have our next ESL game before too much longer, so we're going to have a quick break while we converse with Aviator Featured, our admin. But please do enjoy you guys' time on the sun, in the sun once more. And anyway, what are you doing? There you go. We'll catch you guys on the other side of the break. Gentle friends, we are in to the semi-finals between Score Gaming and No Practice, Only Players.gg. Or No Players, Only Practice, I can't remember. They're otherwise known as the Zodiac's Family Mexico versus Japan.
You know what, this is going to be one hell of a matchup too. We have so many good teams here in today's tournament, and for No Players Only Practice, perhaps they need some players. At least they're fielding 5 players here today, so perhaps the practice has bred them some players.
Well, Douglas, you brought up from before, No Players Only Practice.gg. They've lost out on their ace player MIT going across to Old Glory, who are already in the finals. So there's a possibility if NPOPGG, man, we need to think of an easier way to say that name. Let's go with MP. If MP win out this series, then they've got a chance to show MIT what a mistake they made in switching teams.
Good point, but they have to get through Score Gaming first, and Score Gaming right now, they are a solid middle to upper of the pack team. They have been denied by Impossible Missions Force quite a lot in the past, but IMF, they're not a part of this tournament. So, Score Gaming, they have a shot at going all the way to the grand final, but they have had results that has always been swinging here against NP. NP sometimes takes out Score Gaming, and sometimes it's the reverse.
Both these teams definitely have got a lot to prove before they even look past this game, as Score Gaming are controlling the center. Flash trying to sneak up on the opposition, who moves just before they get there. GRD still will take a knife to the face as Score Gaming take the early lead. Arcade grabbing a kill as well. We'll be looking to see which of the Score Gaming members does well here. We've got, of course, Team Stalwart Danny in play, though they are downed right now. The score? It's looking like it still will be Danny, though, who's picking up the largest number of kills.
Danny is also one of those members that you can always rely on the side of Score Gaming. But for Score Gaming, whoever carries depends on the map that we're playing. Right now, Daniel loves this map, but moving into the next game, which will be on Scramble, we could be seeing someone else completely step it up.
Yeah, it does seem like it's a team where there's a lot of potential for different kind of carries on different kinds of maps. But Shebekin, so we've not just got Danny, we've got Flash as well, performing extremely well with that golden imp. Looking extremely flashy, as Score actually do drop a player, and now they might be trapped in the center, surrounded on all sides by NP.
That is not going to be what they're looking for, and 2 kills out of nowhere gives NP the lead. Now one more as Dumbo finds a kill. Suddenly, Score Gaming make this an even game, but overall for NP, it's not looking hot. It's not looking good at all. They want to be in the lead, and they want to really punish Score Gaming for losing that one member right here. But Score Gaming, with Flash and with Danny, they are taking back the lead.
Pantito trying to defend against a rush forward from MPGG. I think that's a reasonable compromise in that name. Who have managed to bring things back almost to parity. MPGG could hold on to the center beats, leading a charge out through. Will run into the rest of Score, with TG stepping in for that 5th place position. Flash continues to impress, 10-3, but Veterans is there with a well-placed grenade to make sure they don't get too out of control.
Veterans chucks up a grenade, does not find a kill. Instead, Dumbo will find a kill with their grenade. 28-24 counterfeit. 2 minutes and 40 seconds left to go. This will come down to the wire. I don't think we're going to see 50 kills, but it's definitely going to be a game where every single kill counts, as these two teams, they are just going ham at each other time and time again.
Well, Score Gaming, the Mexican squad, have done what we were waiting to see in some of the other games played on this map over the course of today and previous tournaments, which is to try and take possession of the fort in the bottom left-hand corner. Only a couple of entry points in here, which means if a team can bring their strength to bear on just the 3 entry points, then they can defend even with inferior numbers.
Panchito comes in, finds a kill, 33 to 31. It's getting very, very close, Counterfeit. Dumbo finds another one here. So now Score Gaming, they might have just found their demise. But they're still hanging on. But NPGG, they're now taking the lead, and they would want to go in and show MIT that it was a big mistake to go over to Old Glory.
Dumbo stepping into MIT's shoes with a hugely impactful 17-9 record, and the game is not even done as of yet. Dumbo on the assault class, throwing some extremely well-placed grenades, will get picked off, I believe, by Danny there. As the fighting breaks out in the center, Score Gaming's dreams of a defensive play seem to be being stymied by an extremely aggressive MPGG.
But it's so close, and with 1 minute left to remaining, Counterfeit, every single kill counts. NPGG, they find the first one and break into 40 kills.
Dumbo, sight unseen, gets that grenade across the wall. The Veterans is cut off from the rest of the Score Gaming team. Still not going to slow them down at all, though, as they've got that Severance shotgun to pump out the damage in close quarters. Panchito up on top. It's Corridor fighting. It's brutal, and it's almost even. Veterans and MPGG coming out oh so slightly ahead.
Now 4 more kills for NPGG, make it 1 more as DRD finds a kill on 2 Arcade. Score Gaming, they're falling quite far behind. They lost that 1 member, it was the death sentence. It feels like they've lost all of their momentum.
Danny really struggling up in that corridors. Just a few last seconds remaining, and ultimately it is MPGG who win out. And a lot of that, of course, thanks to a ludicrously strong Dumbo performance.
That was amazing to see. Dumbo, 18 kills and 13 deaths. It was a lot of deaths, but seeing as how Score Gaming, they were down 1 member, it did work out in the end.
Yeah, Dumbo, the captain of the MPGG squad, behind Veterans, the leader. Definitely a player to be looking out for in game number 2. Of course, we did have strong performances from both Flash and Danny in that last game. Danny in particular. So there's still hope. Only a 5 kill difference. It's recoverable. We'll see what happens after the break as our semi-finals continue, and we shall see who will be going through to the grand finals. We're back and into the second semi-final game between Score Gaming and MPGG, otherwise known as Zodiacs, otherwise known as Zodiac's family, and otherwise known as the team that won that first semi-final game.
It was close for a long time as well, but Score Gaming, they end up falling. They lost a member throughout that game, and NPGG, they just took a hold of the game. They punished Score Gaming and didn't give them a chance.
Danny was the best performing member in terms of KDA on the team, captain of Score Gaming. Now, worth noting that Gomitak's team owner of Score Gaming not here today to take part in the competition personally, but their trusted lieutenant, or captain in this case, more than capable of leading the charge. We'll definitely be looking out for Dumbo, though, who actually, yes, that's right, for a second they weren't playing, but is currently in the third place position as the two teams brawl in the center of the map.
Well, you know what? I would also take a look at Danielle. Danielle did quite well in the last game for the side of Score Gaming. Definitely the MVP, but for NPGG, Dumbo simply was just a standout player and a standout player overall, already sitting at 4 kills and 2 deaths.
Flash was one of the other big Score players, and it is the case this time around, but Dumbo has been consistent alongside Analucho in this game, both with 4 kills and very deadly when it comes to trying to get out onto the map as Score Gaming are trying to do here from multiple angles.
But this time around, Score Gaming, they have a full lineup and they are taking the fight to NPGG. Both teams running 2 snipers, both teams running 3 assault rifles. So it's stand-up setup, and right now Score Gaming, they're coming out on top after a few minutes of play.
Danny trying to defend the push in from MP. GG, Analucho able to break through that defensive line. Now Score Gaming are just confined to that central hangar. Behind 6 kills, TG does pick up one. Danny, another. Could potentially, well, for a second I thought it might be comeback time, but Dumbo continues to pump out the points as MPGG looks like they might be thinking about falling back to the lower hangar, hangar 01, to use as a defensive platform.
Danny trying to see if they can spot someone out there, the MVP for Score Gaming, but not able to perform right now as Dumbo comes in, shoots Danny in the face, 7-3. Dumbo definitely has some big ears to protect MPGG and carry them with in this game.
Well, you'll believe it, Dumbo can fly in this game, as it's doing extremely well along with Analucho, almost the same score as one another. Score Gaming again are trying to break out onto the map itself. Panchito cut down as they try and move forward. Arcade from the back trying to get at least some revenge kills in. But GRD keeps things exactly the way they are as Dumbo grabs yet another kill. Score Gaming on the retreat. There is the recon chopper up in the air to give a little bit of early warning to MP.GG. Next time Score come a callin'.
13-27. Right now, Score Gaming, they're trying to keep control over the left side of the map, but those snipers and those assault rifles from NPGG, they just kill them immediately. And you can see right there, one of the members from Score Gaming push out, but immediately NPGG, they're there to punish that member for overstepping. So NPGG, they continue to make sure that there's always going to be someone that can cover the bot of everyone on the side of NPGG, so that no one will ever be in a position to not be revenged.
GRD has been doing a lot of that revengerizing today. Has been a very opportunistic sniper for MPGG. Every time one of their teammates dies, they immediately get that revenge shot through as soon as the opposition reveals themselves. Okay, does get a grenade kill there, but as Score Gaming try and move their business to the bottom part of the map, something dramatic needs to change or this will be the end of Score's journey.
19 again to 37. Score Gaming, they're just falling further and further behind, kind of it. And TJ, Dumbo, everyone on the side of NPGG, sorry, TJ on the side of Score Gaming, but MPGG, everyone is just doing extremely well. And Look right here. Now there's spawn camping score, and there's nothing that score can do to get out of this position. As long as MPGG, they don't wipe them out all at once, they're just going to continue to farm up this slaughter.
I have to say, I don't like this from Score Gaming. They try to defend in the top left-hand corner. Now they've really just switched the positions they're defending from and trying to run right at MPGG to get any points. They're so far behind. Flash, oh boy. Their top scorer is also got almost the same amount of deaths as the two people below them combined. As Danny disconnecting. This looks like it's end of the line for Score Gaming. But MPGG, they've proven they can perform without MIT and do so pretty freaking impressively.
They certainly are very impressive, Counterfeit, and this means that MPGG, they're going to move into the grand final. They're going to face up against Old Glory. And now MPGG, they get the chance to show MIT that it was a mistake to go to Old Glory and that MPGG, they are the better team.
The recognition, of course, to GRD, who I believe is otherwise known as Greed. Very opportunistic, and ended up with a very good scoreline to show for it as well. Of course, we've recognized as well, Anna Lucho really did impressive stuff there, 14 and 8. I think sets themselves up very well for the grand finals, which of course will be coming up shortly. Guys, we hope you've enjoyed things so far. Old Glory, of course, are waiting for their country folk in No Players Only Practice.gg. It will be an all Japanese grand final with $500 on the line.
The lion's share being 350. Who's going to get it? Watch after we figure that out.
For now though, guys, before we get to the finals, we'll do our best to bring you another community game before we get into that next round of official ESL competition. So guys, please use the passkey ESL123. As always, come and show us what you're made of. Alright dealers, which map is it gonna be?
Ooh, I think we should go to. Let's see where we're not going to go in the grand final. We can go to rooftops because we're not going there in the grand final.
Alright. There we go, guys. Come and join us. This may well be our last community game of the weekend. Ermal MC5, welcome, welcome. And to all of our Japanese fans and fans from around the globe. Thank you guys for spending your evening, morning, afternoon with us today. We know, of course, there's a lot of different time zones at play here today. But we appreciate you guys, wherever you might be, and hope that you will join us for these upcoming community games. Let's do radio exercises, says one of the Japanese fans. I heard it. What's a radio exercise?
I'm not quite sure what a radio exercise is. Is it like practicing when an alarm will go off at a school?
I don't know. Let's see. Okay, that translates backwards and forwards. So let me try and savage this pronunciation.
ラジオ体操とは何ですか?
Raijo Taisou to wa nan desu ka?
Yeah, you totally butchered that.
Yep. I think it's a bit like Chinese, I think, where I know in Chinese there's a different kind of ways of pronouncing things, like, you know, you kind of like your tone completely changes what you're saying, so trying to sort of approximate saying something, I think basically means you're saying nonsense, because there's like 4 different ways the same word can mean different things. It's crazy. Fury, yes, talking about MIT leaving Zodiacs, or as they're known, OPGG. I hope at some point they'll come to a slightly more sensible name. I don't know, I haven't had a chance to talk to MIT. I don't know if they're in the chat. But we'll be getting to see them a little bit later on. Japanese exercise. Oh, okay. I'll have to have a look. The thing is, when you're searching for stuff in different languages, it's really hard to know if you're finding the thing that there's someone who's talking about.
Especially when stuff like Google Translate will not always give you the right translation.
Oh, Radio Exercise Japan. Let's see. Listen, bend, and stretch. How Japan fell in love with exercise on the radio. Oh, it's literally like an aerobics thing that you do based on, but rather than it being video, it's just audio. So there you go. Success. Daniel David, if you want to join in the competition, the pass key is in the bottom right hand corner of the screen. ESL 123. Do come and show us what you're capable of. Do yourselves some Japanese exercises as well to make sure you're nice and warmed up for this quite likely last community game of the day. Make the most of it, guys. Show up in force and show what you're capable of. Okay, so yeah, to go back to the radio exercises. So, Radio Taito? Radio Calisthenics. It's a 3-minute routine that apparently a lot of people in Japan do to start the day.
Okay, so if we say stretch, then everyone stretches.
I guess so. I think you... Let's see. I don't know if we can find a... It's kind of talking around it, but I don't know if there's ever anyone to... So apparently it's been around for quite a long time, and it's always been the same for that duration. Yes, Daniel David, this is likely to be our last community match of the day, because we're going to have ESL tournaments until the end. So our grand finals, which will be best of 5. If for whatever reason one of the best of 5 grand final games does get delayed, we might be able to fit another community game in, but I wouldn't count on it.
Yeah. The likeliness that we're going to be able to do that is small. Right now, we're just waiting for the pass key for our grand final.
Oh, there you go. If you guys are interested in trying out the radio exercises, then here is a link to a YouTube video of people doing them. Hopefully it's what it appears to be, because I always know that whenever you link something without watching it, it could always be something else. But I think it looks the right. It's 3 minutes 30 of people waving their arms around and things. Huh, okay. Oh man, do this. We should start doing this before each broadcast. It's basically like a bunch of... It doesn't look like it's particularly intense. Ah, see? We've made a connection with our Japanese friend. We've been informed about something that neither of us had heard of before. That's actually pretty cool. It's one of the great things about doing something which is so international. That everyone gets to share their cultural experiences with each other. Hamid Razu, you're waiting for Modern Combat 6. From what I've heard, I don't believe there are any plans for Modern Combat 6 since Modern Combat 5 is still being actively developed, but I can understand that. I mean, Modern Combat 5 has been around for a while, but they keep updating it, so I guess until they stop, this will be what it is.
Yeah, well, hopefully Modern Combat 6, the day that it comes out, will be a success as Modern Combat 5.
Yeah. So Paul, if you use the passkey ESL123, Contrasenia ESL123, that will get you into the game. There's still some spaces left over. Apache, MC5. Hey Rickson, hello. We've been talking about the Japanese stretching exercises, which we have learned from our friend who's... actually, what is her name? I can put that name into Google Translate. Let's see what it is. Our Japanese friend is called World's Channel. And she said that.
世界チャンネル
Sekai-chan Neru. Nice. So thank you, Sekai-chan. Yes, Rickson, I definitely recommend giving those old stretcheroos a try. Because, you know, when you're going into a grand finals, you got to make sure that all of your body parts are working. Head, shoulders, knees, and toes. So you guys might recognize some of the faces in here. We've got Sad member, well, Darren, and we've got Furies as well from the Impossible Missions Force. Unfortunately, they weren't able to play today, but they can at least show a little bit of what they're capable of.
Okay, I'm asking what the status is on getting the grand final on the way.
Rickson says, iOS stream, it's really messy. Let's see, does that translate? Let's see.
はは、乱雑なのは何ですか?
Well, I'm just fascinated to see if anyone can figure out what the heck it is I'm talking about. But I'm asking you, what is messy? So, Fury, definitely very impressive stuff. So guys, we'll keep the good times a-rolling. So please do continue to come in and join our games and have yourselves a grand old time. Let's get another game set up. Let's do a free-for-all. Where should we go this time?
Ooh, let's go to... Let's go to the construction site.
There we are. Alright, so ESL 123, come and join us. Play with your new friends. Learn about Japanese culture. Because apparently we have become a vehicle for learning. Let's have a look and see what Rickson replied to with what was messy. Translate. The delivery is funny. You are an interesting person. Ah, you think they're interesting? I think they are appreciating our mangle attempts. Well, I say my mangle attempts at Japanese. And what would be a traditional Danish greeting, Lilis?
A traditional Danish greeting?
Yeah, to our Japanese friends.
Well, hi.
You're gonna do a bit better than that.
That's literally what you would say in Denmark. You would say hi. I don't think we have a very specific way of greeting people.
But yeah, well, thank you guys for coming on to the stream. Let's see, how do you say that in Japanese?
来てくれてありがとう。
Kita kurete arigato?
来てくれてありがと
Kita
う。
kurete arigato. That's a fun word to say. Kita kurete.
来てくれてあり
Kite,
がと
kite
う。
kurete? Oh boy, whenever I've tried to learn like any language of anybody, I always end up like repeating things back to them and they keep saying no, and I keep just saying it the same way. I don't know if that's been your experience at all. I suppose because you could actually speak different languages, maybe not. Voltax, welcome, welcome. Once you jump in, we'll get this free-for-all started. We're going to have a quick check-in with Aviator Featured, our admin. And we'll catch you guys on the other side of break. Enjoy! Welcome back, friends, and congratulations to Hank for being the tank and taking the #1 spot. And again, thank you to our Japanese friends. Ah, there we go, Hank's in the chat. Good job, Hank. You crushed everyone. So, I think we're going to try again, if we can get away with it, because I think we may have a little bit more of a delay before our finals actually starts, is try another go at the Battle Royale and, see how it goes. Maybe it'll work out. I think we might have a few more people, considering those last games have been pretty heavily trafficked. Let's give it a try. So it won't be a private game, it's just going to be the global chat invite, so do check there on the English language chat. If you're not in the English language chat, you might need to change language to be able to see that global chat invite. It should also be showing up on the custom games list. Yeah, dear. And Absolute Sports. Yeah, I'm glad you're enjoying the game so far. Ooh, hello. We might have a little bit of a hiccup with creating that lobby. Just a second.
Yep. Well, I'm still trying to keep in contact with our admin so that we can figure out when we're going to move into the grand final.
Alright, we'll be back in just a second. Just gonna... There we go. So, go to the main menu. It's the Battle Royale, Custom. And let's not make it a private game, just Pro on the Spectator. And there we go. So hopefully, we'll have that up in just a second. And you guys can come and join in and show what you're capable of. There we go. Excellent. So global chat invite is there. I don't think we've got any friends to invite at the moment. So you guys, you can be our friends. That's not really creepy. Let's do it again. You can be our friends. VMV! One of the teams playing here today. Great to see you guys. Destiny, looks like that player is called. Excellent. Do make friends with us if you do join one of these games, ADY as well. So that we can invite you to future community games. We'll keep on spamming out those invites till we probably get to... I think we actually did, like... I don't know, Delos, I think with about 15 people before, we did pretty well. I guess this is also a little... Yeah, because we're getting some of the ESL players joining this. So we're getting a little bit of a taste of what a competitive Battle Royale tournament might look like.
Yeah, that's true. Well, hopefully we can get another one on the way before we do get that passkey. Right now we do have a protest in our lower semifinal, but that should be resolved very, very soon.
Alright, well, we got a decent amount of folks and a lot of recognisable faces. So, are you not a fan of the Battle Royale? Well, we're just fitting it in a little bit because, really just for variety's sake. We'll have plenty more free-for-alls and team battles if we can fit them in. We definitely aren't going to make the Battle Royales a mainstay of the community games, but, since we've got the option to do it as a custom game, I think it's kind of fun. It's a nice way to... have some different kinds of games. Hank, you're not a fan of Battle Royales either. Well, you'll see. Alright, we'll check out a couple more invites. If we can get up to about 15 to 20 again, then should be... See, Shim gonna shoot you is a Battle Royale fan. Come on, Hank. You can come and show us why you're not just great at regular free-for-alls, but also the other ones as well. Shangri-La. Douglas, have you ever played Uncharted?
I do not believe so.
Oh, it's one of the PlayStation exclusive games. It's kind of like a sort of more modernized Indiana Jones, and Shangri-La is it's a kind of I think it's a mythical place, but it's in one of the games.
Hmm.
Oh, maybe it's actually a real place. Oh, maybe I'm just... No, it's a fictional place in a 1933 novel called Lost Horizon.
But is it just me, or is Shangri-La also a place that is a part of one of the Mummy movies?
It could well be in that. I think it's kind of like... It's basically like Atlantis, but just in a different part of the world.
Yeah.
So I imagine it could turn up in quite a lot of different things. Alright, we'll just let the last invite stew for a little bit. Gaming Ryu. Welcome. But yes, Sawaji, it is only in the most recent update that we've been able to have private battle royales, and also to be able to spectate them as well, which is honestly kind of awesome. So we've been talking about that it does open up the possibility of having more competitive, or no, having competitions. Alright, I think we're starting to lose players, so let's get this one started. I think we did it right. 12 is actually pretty decent for a community game.
It certainly could be worse.
Alright, so, Dealers, since we know already that your preference is to... Actually, wait. We should be putting a passkey on, I think, because that way people... I suppose the people who are browsing the community games list won't be able to join, but people who can join after the fact if we've got a passkey, but they can't if we don't. I don't know, Dealers, what do you think?
I'm not quite sure what the actual difference is.
Well, so if we've got a passkey on there, people can join the game after it started, or in this initial bit. But if they see it in the community games list, they won't have the passkey, so they won't be able to join. So, I don't know which is going to be getting the most players in. I would tend to guess it would probably be just having it being open.
Yeah, well, I guess there's like pros and cons, really.
Obadiah, Hawk over on Facebook. How you doing? I hope you're having a lovely day today. We're just waiting on the grand finals to begin, so we're just having a bit of a mess around in some different community games because the Battle Royale custom game version of Battle Royale has just become available. We're doing a few more of those. Though we know it's not necessarily to everybody's taste, but it seems like a nice way to play with a larger group in a little bit of a different context. So Dealers, from your experience with other Battle Royales, if we were to get some more options into custom Battle Royales, what kinds of things do you think you would be able to tweak around to create a more custom experience?
Well, you could always put in more, what's called beacon towers. Make that a more interesting part of the game.
Sure.
You could tweak around the amount of loot that you find, so that you'll find less weapons or more weapons. Yeah, I'm not going to give you every answer. So, what do you think as well?
I think changing weapon drop rates is a very reasonable assumption. I think that's you could potentially have certain weapons banned out or similar, or like adjust percentages around the place, so you can have like a very sniper heavy game and the like. Just checking with Fury, who's right in the center of the map, has got themselves a sniper rifle and a shotgun, so extreme power at close and long range. They'll be sharing the Institute with Mentalists, who did just take a grenade to the face. I don't know if that was their own grenade, but they are rocking a extremely large scope on their extremely short range shotgun, so you know they're not a person to mess with.
Honestly, I would always be scared of someone running towards me with like a 9x scope on a shotgun, because that is truly a person who doesn't know how to aim.
It's a classic. Furies, though, will take away all our hope. So we've actually got a pretty strong spread. I think the early exchanges, Fury cleaned out the Institute, and everybody else has spread to the various different parts of the map. It's only been 4 players, including Strangler, Mentalist, Shim Gonna Shoot You, and Hank. Hey, Hank, you did join in the end. Who got taken out early on. I think, actually, what I might ask is that maybe this could, because it's quite hard to fill up a 60-person lobby. But it does make me wonder if maybe there could be a way to treat this more as a party, where you would just take this party and then just link up with other parties and join as a 12 or as a 14 another game. Oh, that'd be an interesting idea. Hey, Hero Gaming Salmon. Hero Gaming Salmon reckons the current game is 3 spoops out of 5. Do you agree, Daedalus?
Well, are you sure it's out of 5? He didn't specify. So it could be out of it could be out of 1,000.
So well, the map is very large. Yes, I'm going to try and see maybe if we can get a transparency effect applied to that map, because it is taking up. It's a very useful thing, but it is taking up an enormous amount of the screen. There we go. Darren managing to find a flank onto Voltax. Gets picked up immediately, taking fire from the side. You can see Darren doesn't have a particularly strong rifle. It's just down to the tier 1 and is trying to fight from extreme range. Maybe they can pick up a few extra guns which are a little less terrible. Nope. Darren makes their last mistake. So let's check back in on the map again. Can we zoom the map or anything? No. So we've got Destiny from the VMV team. I believe that's the person who took out Darren. See, they've also rocking a tier 1 gun, but it is a sniper rifle, and so when you're fighting across long ranges, you can just see them looking across at their handiwork. Darren curled up. It turns out Darren was secretly a spider, and when they died, all of their limbs curled up on themselves. Do you know what that is, Seedless?
No.
It's because
But
spiders are gas
I think
powered.
you're about to tell me. Sorry, what now?
It's because spiders are gas powered. Their limbs are gas powered, so when they cease to be alive, they lose.
Wait, are you serious?
Yeah, they're hydraulic.
Huh.
So when they die, they lose pressure, and so all of their limbs just go like, "Rip," because that's their natural state. It's just been curled up.
Huh.
All right, so we've got OO and Maria coming face to face. Maria does get tagged. I don't think quite knows where OO is, except they've just run out right in front of them, so they probably have an idea now. The old red, a very solid rifle. OO going to try and sneak around to the flank, switching across the pistol. Maybe a mistake. Mentioned to dance away for now. I'm curious. I wonder what the red and green we can see on this person is about. Maybe that's some sort of new display. Because it certainly makes their armor very visible. Oh! Of course, armor's not going to matter if you just get shot in the face. Destiny, I believe, is off to the side, providing some fire support in, so it's going to be another 1v1. Yeah, it's great how these things work out. While ADY is off looting the Institute, which unfortunately for them, I think has already been picked fairly clean. So what do we prefer, old MC5 competitive or now? I feel like people are getting better as they go along, so I think, personally speaking, I prefer it now, but I can understand it was a very different game when prestige weapons and the like were allowed, but I'm not sure if it was necessarily a better game. There were some really good teams back in the day, though, so I definitely do miss some of those big hitters. Though my memory fails me as to remembering some of the team names. I do remember there were some really big dominant teams. I think Bull is one of those dominant teams back in the day, but I think they all kind of scattered to different teams after dominating for a while. So yes, this is going back quite a way. Of course, Haxor would really be the person who remembers it right from back from the beginning, though I believe is off at university now, doing university things.
Well, I guess that's usually what you do at uni.
No, you'd be surprised.
You think so?
Daniel David, you got knifed in the Battle Royale. You're so ashamed. You should be. Wait, Daniel David, were you the...
Oh, we have a pass key.
Ooh. In that case, we'll leave you guys to finish off this top 3. And let's just have a quick check and see. No, it's going to be a while before this one is done because they're not even close to each other. Well, Destiny, very well done, but we have to let us know how that turns out. For now, though, we've got Old Glory, and let's just confirm who we've got. It's actually Score Gaming who go through.
Yes, there's been a admin decision to disqualify NPGG from this tournament.
Oh no! Well, a dramatic turnabout. The Mexican squad get a chance to shut down Old Glory's rise to prominence. Let us know in the chat who you are supporting. Will it be the Mexican team at Score Gaming? Will it be Japan's Old Glory looking to reclaim their throne Since Impossible Missions Force were not able to make it along to today's competition, their throne lies vacant. The lion's share of $500 to be decided. Hey Jamie Mason, over on Facebook, you're just in time for our grand finals. We'll be getting into that lobby. I think we've got the teams, at least one of the teams, pretty much ready to go. So we'll get in there, get our first game set up, and then we'll be getting things started in just a few moments' time. We're back! It's time for the grand finals to get underway! Old Glory from Korea versus Score Gaming from Mexico. Korea looking to... no, tell a lie, from Japan. What am I talking about?
It's not the Impossible Missions Force, Mr. Hotnail. It is Old Glory from Japan. So it will be Japan versus Mexico. Score Gaming getting their shot at the title. A solid middle to upper team who has time and time again been denied by the Impossible Missions Force from Korea, but now they're gonna go up against the team from Japan.
You know, I can only apologize.
Also, sorry, Convid, you need to change the logo as well.
I'm doing that right now.
Ah.
Don't worry, I'm all over it. You see, that's the thing. I expected IMF in the finals so much that I think my brain just filled in those blanks automatically. But yep, Old Glory, they've got their chance at the crown. So does Score Gaming, though. It's actually pretty darn even between the two. I think this is a huge opportunity for Score Gaming in particular to show that they can hang with the biggest teams.
Oh, it certainly is. Now the Score Gaming, they are in the grand final. They've been here before, Counterfeit, but just because they've been here before doesn't mean that they've been successful. It is a long time ago that it was the era of Score Gaming. So now, let's see if they can keep this up and go all the way. For now, at least they are staying competitive.
Yes, Fury, the team owner of IMF, in the chat. I think perhaps a little saddened to see the team's logo up on the screen when that actually is not the case. When it so very much often is. Of course, we can shout outs to Issa N, one of the IMF players, has definitely been helping with trying to do some extra research into some of the strategies the teams are employing. So look forward to us leveling up our commentary in the future. For now though, Old Glory, they've got themselves the advantage. They're taking over the sarcophagus room. And Score, they're right up in the top, but they have to break out to find themselves some points.
They do, and one way that Score Gaming could look to try and gain themselves some points would be to try and spread out on the map. Right now they're staying pretty close together. It means that Old Glory, they can just hunt them down as a unit and go for those big team fights. And Score Gaming, instead, just look for those small skirmishes, try and go for some big flanks.
We have got the military support coming in to try and tear up some folks in the close quarters. Of course, those airstrikes and bombing runs very effective on a team all stacked up in one place. Makoto goes and grabs a kill. Rai does fall down in close quarters. It's looking like Old Glory, they're starting to build up a real head of steam.
Oh, they're now with 10 kills. They are very far ahead. 3 minutes and 55 seconds left to go, but I don't think they even need that much time to take down Score Gaming. With the pace that they're setting right now, they are looking to take down all 3 games.
Right, in close quarters, will win out that 1v1 as well. One Panchito picks up a separate kill much further away. Rise MC5, I'm glad you're having a good old time. Of course, we get to see Old Glory deploying their player, their new acquisition, MIT, doing decently in this game, though not providing the carry presence that we might be used to. I suppose, well, that's one of the consequences, isn't it, D-list, when you've got a very good player in a previously less successful team. When they join a new team, they may not be as significant as they were before.
That's definitely true, Counterfeit, but MIT is always someone you can look towards. But right now, Old Glory, they are looking to regain their old glory, their old era, and it all begins here with taking down Score Gaming and having some strong performances. And I think it's fair to say that this is a strong performance from MIT and the rest of Old Glory.
And the big standout definitely going to be, well, I say this, I was going to say Mikoto, but actually it's Ryu with a very strong scoreline so far, 9-5, with a golden, of course, a golden shred, because that's the way that a winner plays. It's with a shiny weapon to distract the opposition by trying to blind them with silence and also reflections.
Well, if you are able to put a glimmer in the eye of your opponents, then sometimes they won't be able to aim straight, Counterfeit, but Rio has been able to do that 9 times so far. 9 kills, 5 deaths. Has also been starstruck by some of the players over on the side of Score Gaming too. But now Old Glory, 3 more kills, 10 level 1, game number 1. Then we are going to move into game number 2, which will be on overtime. Third game on Scramble. So far, Old Glory, they might just take the series 3-0 because this was quite a dominating performance.
A very strong 17 kill advantage here on the museum. Of course, by the end of it actually, MIT managed to come out with the best performance. So there you go, a good acquisition. 11-5 in that last game. And while Makoto also managed to pick up 13 kills, that was at the cost of 8 deaths. So MVP going across to MIT. I think a pretty good start to things, and you're right. it's looking like Old Glory could have themselves a very swift journey through the finals, but we never know for sure. We'll find out what's going to happen as Game 2 of the Grand Finals will be coming up just 7 minutes away. we return and Game 2 beckons. Old Glory and Score Gaming after a crushing Game 1 victory for Old Glory. Can Score turn this ship around? Or is it time for Old Glory to take the vacant throne and make it their very own?
They're looking to regain their former Glory counterfeit, and they are certainly well on the way to doing so. They took down Score Gaming, one of the top dogs here in this tournament, quite convincingly in game number 1, and well, they're off to a very good start here in game number 2.
A solid control of the center for Old Glory, while Panchito and the rest of Score Gaming are spread around mostly the south side. I think Panchito to be trying to get away here, or maybe not, able to at least trade themselves across, while Danny and Flash make their way around the northern side.
Bombers being deployed as well definitely helps Score Gaming a lot in regaining control over the map, but Old Glory grouping up as a team definitely means that they will be very open to being taken down by airstrikes like you just saw there from Flash.
Score Gaming manages to take back control. They've got this very unusual style. Rather than trying to group up and meet Old Glory face to face, they're going for a much more skirmish heavy individual fighting as TG manages to find a... I've not actually seen someone use that angle before. That's pretty neat. While Old Glory in the center, Score hitting them from two sides.
Yes, and I love what Score are doing this time around. That's what we said they needed to do in game number 1. Move out into groups. Don't go for those big 5-on-5s. Just go for the small skirmishes, go for the small duels, and that is what is working out pretty well for Score Gaming so far.
Old Glory looking to... even though they're trying to defend a much more open area in the center, it's working out pretty darn well for them. Flash for the side of Score have been doing very well, though Danny does pick up a kill there. Blown up from afar. It's Ryu, who we've seen before doing some pretty nice stuff, who's currently dominating that golden shred, back in action once again, firing down on Score Gaming and tearing through them.
Could you say that he's shredding everyone?
I guess I could.
Well, I'll say it then. Rio is shredding everyone.
You probably should have sort of said it the first time.
Well, anyway, I was about to say before I made a horrible joke that Old Glory, they didn't really perform as well here in game number 2 as they did in game number 1, but I kind of have to take that back now because they are about to have a 10 kill lead and they can only become a larger kill lead from here. If they keep this up and they keep being this good at those duels, Score Gaming are trying to force it down upon them, but they're not really succeeding anymore. The momentum has run out. They're lost all their steam, and Old Glory are the ones completely controlling this game so far.
Oh wow, that last trade though, that was extremely bloody in the center. Still though, Score are behind. Something I was noticing in that last interaction was MIT dropping down from the upper level onto the opposition. That's the kind of strategies you only see from the very experienced players, because it's so risky when you're up in the air, when you're dropping down, you're so incredibly vulnerable. If you time it right, you're almost guaranteed to get a kill on a completely unsuspecting opponent.
That's true, but you also have to say that when you are in the air, you can't shoot, so it is a very risky strategy kind of to apply.
3 minutes left on the clock. Old Glory, right, are continuing to look extremely strong, thanks, I think, primarily to a ludicrous performance by Ryu. Has been taken off the field, though, in that last exchange, returning into an absolute brawl in the center. 7 kills separating. It's not unsalvageable for Score Gaming, but they need to start stepping up the pace.
Yeah, they need to do it now, because they are just falling behind and further and further. Right now, Old Glory, they have a 10 kill lead. If Score Gaming, they want to recover this, then they have to stop bleeding, and they have to stop the bleeding now.
Arcade trying to hold the line in the center. Very smart to try and use the doorways to control, as TG from afar manages to pick up a kill, and Panchito as well. They got the goal is almost in sight though for Old Glory. They're up to 47-48. We've got to keep our eyes on Ryu in his last few seconds, as they are so close to 20, but there's just not enough points left in the game for that to happen.
Oh, and now with that last kill being looked for here from Old Glory, it seemed very unlikely for Score Gaming to pull it back. They can't do it. They do reduce the lead. Last time around, I think they had a 13 kill lead. This time around, it's 11. So Score Gaming, they are moving the right way, but right now there's just too much pressure against them, and they need to now reverse sweep Old Glory here in this grand final in order to win this tournament.
Now, Ryu dropping the most impressive performance of the finals so far. All credit to Flash, they did some real nice stuff, as did Danny towards the end, and Panchito, but ultimately, it was not enough. Guys, we potentially got the third and final game of the finals coming up. 2-0 so far for Old Glory. Can they do what Dealer suggests and reverse sweep? It has to happen in this upcoming game. We'll see you guys in 7 minutes or less as our grand finals goes to game number 3. Welcome back, everyone. It's time for what could be the final game of the finals. Score Gaming, Old Glory, here on Scramble is where it's decided who will be our blue champions for May.
There was a time when it was all about Old Glory counterfeit, but then IMF in Possible Missions Force came in and swept the entire scene. But IMF, they're not here to stop Old Glory today. And Old Glory, they're saying, well, it's our time again. We want to regain our former era, and it is our time. No one can stop us.
Early game going in favour of Old Glory, though we do see Flash trying to break out, will run afoul of new hire MIT, who cuts them off, as we are seeing some reminiscent of earlier games being played. One team shoved up into the corner. In fact, wasn't it Score Gaming who played it out exactly the same way? They were kind of pushed into the corner and they just never really managed to break out of it.
No, and that is a huge problem right here, because they're just lambs for the slaughter. When Old Glory, they don't wipe them out entirely. They know where everyone is going to spawn, and they can continue to farm and farm and farm. You know what, Confit? I think the Old Glory team, they found the secret cow level, because they are just farming up right here.
Well, when life gives you lemons, you should make a moose. I don't know where I'm going with that one. That's a bit weird. Anyway, Old Glory.
So what you're saying is a moose is a sour cow.
Sure. I don't quite follow that, but yeah. But you're right. The important part here being that Old Glory, they are just taking Score Gaming to task here. Up on the far left-hand corner, they have gotten into a brawl, and while Score may have gotten their second opportunity to redeem themselves here on Scramble, it does look like they're struggling strategically to know what to do against such a skilled enemy squad.
It is very chaotic, the playstyle that Score Gaming they are fielding right now. There's no team coordination. They just continue to fight and fight and fight against Old Glory. And Old Glory, they've shown themselves to be the superior team here in this matchup so far. And with Score Gaming continually fighting against Old Glory, you continue to give them military support. That gives you airstrikes, that gives you airstrikes and bombers. And that means that you're just going to get even more kills inside of Old Glory.
TG, who is one of the big hitters for Score Gaming, come back in to try and steady the Mexican team's lineup. This is honestly an incredibly difficult situation for Score Gaming to be in. They're behind 10 points, they're behind 2 games. They are being tested to the limit here by Old Glory, who just want to stall over the whole tournament. I have to wonder, Fury, who's in the chat, what you make of this as the leader of IMF. Do you guys think you could have beaten this Old Glory?
That is a question for another tournament counterfeit. Right now, Old Glory, they are the best team in this tournament. IMF, they're gonna have to try and beat Old Glory in the next week when we have another monthly final happening. That will be the monthly final of June. But so far, Old Glory, they look like they're going to be the champions of May. And right now, you're seeing everyone just completely hammer down upon Score. Kiri finding 2 kills out of nowhere, and everyone else just finding kills left, right, and center.
Danny struggling to find a bead on one of the Old Glory players through the concussive rain that drops down across Scramble here. Just explosions filling up every single angle. Danny, Panchito, Arcade, Flash, and TG. Just they can't even get started here as Rio blows up everything.
Yeah, this is a slaughter, and I don't think Score Gaming are even gonna get 25 kills. Old Glory, this is their time. They are shining. They will be the victors of May, and no one can stop them.
Score Gaming, they may refuse to go quietly into the night, but that was their most crushing defeat of the Grand Finals. Scramble, definitely not their friend, and unfortunate to be the map where everything was decided. Ryu, again, is showing up after a 17 kill previous game, 16 this time round, but 2 less deaths, so their strongest performance of the entire finals, and elevating Old Glory finally back to the #1 spot.
Let's see if they can keep this up, Counterfeit, if they can create an era for themselves, because now they've started out by taking down Score Gaming here in May, crowning themselves the May champions, but they have to keep it up for the next 2 weeks to take even more monthly finals. And, well, there's still a long way to go, but I'm sure that they will be able to do it, but they have to also take down IMF next week.
Claiming the throne of IMF in their absence. You know, it's what you need to do. It's going to be very financially rewarding for them. $350 to spend as a result of their performance here. Score Gaming, $150 for second place, and of course the camos for the top 3 guys. We're so glad you decided to spend your time with us this evening. Our thanks, of course, to our admins Aviator, Featured, and Frady for keeping everything going through today. And for, of course, thank you to all you guys for dropping by. Deedless, if people would like to find your good self, where should they be looking?
Well, you can always find me on the different social medias, guys, under Deedless Casts.
I'll have to get that written down because I'll post them into the chat at the end. Of course, if you haven't already, guys, do please follow Modern Combat on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, or Mob Crush, wherever you are watching. We will be back next week. We're going to have even more monthly finals. We're going to have, we're just starting these 3-week-long session of multiple finals per weekend, so it's going to be absolutely fantastic. Guys, I hope you have a wonderful rest of the weekend. I've been Counterfeit, he's been Deedless. We thank you again for staying with us for this tournament.